Call with your questions now at 855 Law Show. That's 855 Law Show. You can watch The Law Show live online at thelawshow.com. Now, here's America's attorney, Brian Dailey.
Welcome back to The Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, America's personal injury attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios. And I am answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. And, usually I like to just say a little thing to give people some quick advice, and then I'm going to get into the calls. It's really important that if you have even the slightest inkling that you may have some sort of a legal matter that's pending, it's incumbent upon you to get into a lawyer, preferably a lawyer like the lawyers of the Dailey Law Firm who don't charge. We don't charge for the initial consultation. You can sit down and talk with us as many times as you like, for as long as you like, when we are figuring out what your situation is. But you got to find out what you got if you have anything. Do you have an auto accident case? Do you have a parental alienation case? Do you have a divorce issue? How much time do you have to bring it? Can you bring it in the state that you're in? Have you been there long enough? Have you not been there long enough? You can't answer these questions on your own, and relying on the internet isn't necessarily a great thing because the internet hasn't been proven to be all that accurate in most cases. So sit down with a lawyer that's not going to charge you for the initial consultation. Find out what your statute of limitations is. Find out what your obligations are before you can bring that case. And then have a talk with that lawyer, and maybe even one or two more, about whether or not it's worth it to pursue what you're getting ready to pursue. If you're getting ready to pursue a $10,000 debt and you think it's going to cost you $30,000 to get it, then you know what? Just write it off on your taxes or do something else because it's not worth it. We had a nice young man call in last week, and he was renting a place, and the landlord let some animals get in the top, into the ceiling, and wouldn't fix it. And the next thing they know, there's a mess. And so the man and his significant other move out, and the landlord keeps some of his money. But unfortunately, it was not enough to justify getting a lawyer involved. Unfortunately, he had to go rely upon the small claims court. And he sounded like a very smart man, so I'm sure that he's going to take it right to his landlord. And that's what you guys should do. You want to make sure that you find out everything you need to know. And if you don't have time to sit down with a lawyer, then just Saturday morning, tune us in, and I'll give you all the advice that you need. I am America's personal injury attorney, Brian Dailey. I'm going to broadcast live every single Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Across the nation, answering your legal questions at 855-529-7469. We're going to write to the phones. Janice, you're on the Law Show.
Yes. Oh, okay. Basically, I fell yesterday on a sheet of ice right in front of a store.
Okay.
And I hit my head. And I had a mild concussion. I went to the hospital and everything, and they verified that. When I contacted the market people, they indicated that even though it was right in front of their main entrance, they are not responsible for what happens outside the market. And they indicated it belonged to an organization who owned the courtyard. They did contact the people at the organization who owned the courtyard, and they have not called me back. So basically what I'm trying to find out, I was lucky I wasn't, killed or blacked out or anything.
Yes, you were.
I'm wondering, do I have a case regarding this?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that you have to consider when you're doing this. First of all, you said you hit your head, and that's the thing that I'm most concerned about. People slip and fall all the time, but if you're not injured, then, no harm, no foul. It's unfortunate that the landlords don't take care of their property and don't care enough about their customers to make sure that there's no sheet of ice that they're going to encounter when they walk out of their store. But you know what? Business is business, and people sometimes do that.
Thing real quick, the people at the market did call the owners of the patio the night before and asked them to de-ice, and they did not de-ice it.
Well,
now, the market did have equipment to de-ice it themselves,
but they didn't do it, did they?
They did not take it upon themselves to de-ice it.
And that's what I'm talking about. And so they both have responsibility as far as I'm concerned under the law, and the landlord may have more responsibility. In order to figure that out, we have to get a copy of the lease between the landlord and the owner of the premises. That's the first thing, all right? In terms of the liability question, did somebody do something wrong? I can win that all day long, okay? You don't have an issue on that. Nobody's going to ever question that. You're going to put these two landlords, these two businesses, in a position where they're fighting amongst each other as to who's going to pony up for your damages. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what I'm really concerned about is you hitting your head and getting a concussion. There's something called a traumatic brain injury, and that sounds worse than it is, okay? But the brain is suspended in a gelatinous gel inside your cranium to give it some cushion. And sometimes what happens is you hit your head and you jar that brain so much that it hits the inside of your cranium, and there's some very rough edges in there. And so that's what a concussion is. Sometimes they're horrible, sometimes they're not so bad. But what you need to look out for is, since this just happened yesterday, is if you're feeling nauseous, or if you're getting dizzy, if you're having difficulty sleeping, if you're feeling agitated for any reason at all, I want you to get into the hospital right away. Go to the emergency room right away so that we can resolve this. You need to not be concerned about the money that you're spending on medical care. Hopefully you have health insurance. Do you have health insurance?
Yes, I do.
That's great. So when you're done treating, then what you can do is you can contact a lawyer, preferably the Dailey lawyers, but pick a good lawyer, whoever it is, and they will submit a demand package to the insurance companies representing those two businesses, and they will resolve your case. And you can probably do this on your own, but I guarantee you that whatever you get on your own, any good lawyer worth their salt, like the lawyers at the Dailey Law Firm, but there's many others that are just as good, are going to get you far, far, far more and are going to protect you, okay?
Okay.
All right? So make sure and keep track of any changes in your personality, your relationships. If people start saying to you, hey, I just told you that, why do you need me to repeat it? Or, hey, are you okay? Is everything going all right? You seem like you're different. If you start to notice that your fuse is getting shorter, those are all things that can be symptoms of a traumatic brain injury, or as they call them sometimes, concussions, okay?
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate the information.
All right. Well, let me know if I can be of any assistance to you. If you want to send me an email me, brian@thelawshow.com, with your contact information, and I'll get back with you and give you some more pointers on how to proceed, okay?
Great. That was Brian@lawsuit.com?
No, Brian@thelawshow.com. Or just go to thelawshow.com and send me a note from there, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Very good. Have a great day. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. And we are going to speak with, looks like Charles now. Charles, you're on the Law Show.
Hi there. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
I
Thank
have
you.
a question about real estate.
Yes, sir.
My mother-in-law, she has a house. She had it for a long time, and she was trying to sell it, but she took a personal loan out against it and used it as collateral to buy a mobile home.
Okay.
Now they won't allow her to sell the house because they put a lien against it.
Right, and they can
What can she do?
They can stop her from selling the house unless they are included in the sale. So in other words, when the house, which is the collateral, is sold, then they're going to be at the closing to collect their money to pay the loan, because there's no other collateral except for the mobile home, and I'm assuming that the mobile home is not in your mother's name. Is that accurate?
It's in her name, yes. She got a personal loan, and she used that to buy the mobile home.
Right, but she used the house as collateral, right?
Yes, she did, yes.
Right, and so they're never going to give up the collateral. And, you know, think about it. You'd never give up your collateral either if you made a loan to somebody and they came to you and said, hey, I'm ready to sell the house. I'd like you to forgive the collateral, but I want to keep the loan out. You'd never do that. And any lawyer that's worth anything will tell you, don't do that. So if she wants to sell her house, she can probably do that. She needs to get a lawyer to start working with the lender and with the real estate agent and the buyer and all that, and to just make sure that she understands that when she sells her house, that they're going to get the proceeds from the house to pay the loan, okay?
Okay, here's the question. Is the value of the house went down so much that it's not even worth the value that she asked for, so of the loan that she took out, a personal loan.
Right. So what she's going to need to have is a short sale, which means now that we've got to talk to the mortgage lender, the first lender, the one that's got the first mortgage, and the second mortgage, the one on the personal loan, and ask them for permission to go ahead and sell this house. And we do this all the time. Justin Grove of my office and Jason Ott in Chicago, they handle these kinds of cases all the time. They're not hard. They're long. They're drawn out. They're sometimes expensive, but they're doable. So if your mom really wants to do that, then, let's get it on. Give us a call and we'll help you out.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling the Law Show. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. We're going to talk to Stephen now. Stephen, you're on the Law Show. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. What can I do for you?
Okay. It's a divorce matter. I guess I'll start with the most current thing and go backwards.
Okay.
On February 4th, I had an order of protection hearing.
Hold on.
Again,
was the order of protection against you
me.
or against somebody else?
Pardon me?
Was the order of protection going to be against you or for you?
The order of protection was against me.
Okay. Did you go to the hearing?
Okay. I went to the hearing. The judge found in her favor, and he gave me 2 years. I can't contact my kids. I can't contact my wife. No form of contact whatsoever.
And this happened on February 4th?
And
This happened on February 4th?
this happened on February 4th. And
All right.
after the hearing, the judge let her file or notice me for a divorce.
Okay, so listen. Something's really bad going on here, and I want to get to the bottom of it, and I know that my listeners are interested in it, and I think I can help you out. It's never good for a dad to not see his kids, and this happens so much, and I hate it. I hate it when I hear about judges preventing men from seeing their children. Now, if there was an anger issue or if there was some issue that came up that's been blown out of proportion, then maybe we can get back in to see the judge and ask for some supervised visitation. There's some other planning that we can do to help you out to get in and take care of whatever issues there are. But just tell me briefly, what was the issue the judge keyed on to say that you shouldn't see your kids?
Well, there was an incident in mid-December where my son came down to. We separated in June, and I live in a little garden unit, and my family lives above me.
Stephen, stop.
And my
Stephen,
son-
we got to take a short break. Stephen, I want you to hold on, okay? I want to finish this conversation with you. It's important to me. We're going to take a short break. I am America's personal injury attorney, Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the National Law Show studios, answering all your legal questions at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with all your questions and answers.
Watch The Law Show live now at thelawshow.com. The Law Show returns with your calls at 855-LAW-SHOW.